everyone, I'm back. Welcome back to the Beach Court Podcast. Father Ridgway has returned. We do have a baby in the house now, so thank you,
We're
Parker
not
and
talking about
Maddox.
Parker.
Yeah, we
Yeah, we're
already
talking about
had
Parker,
one.
Yeah. Thank you, Parker and Maddox, for holding down the fort while I was out. You guys did a glorious job. So we'll talk about what happened, this week and the recent weeks, me being gone, and what these fellows did this week. I get to catch up with them a little bit. We'll talk, of course, about Bologna results. We had Roaring Moon win a freaking major out of nowhere. Who had that on their bingo card? I think Parker did, because he's been talking about the deck forever. And then we'll bring back our Bricking on Bourbon segment. This time we're going to take a look into the online meta results from Destined Rivals release weekend over on TCG Live. And then we're going to round it out with our fantasy draft. We're bringing it back. We're going to do a fantasy draft for this year for NAIC. We're going to hope to, you guys can play along in the comments down below. Let us know what you think of our draft picks, who you would have picked. But yeah, let's get right into it. Boys, what's going on with you guys? What's new? I haven't talked to you in a little bit.
Things are good. It's just been locking in and trying to figure out this new Destined Rivals format, gearing up for NAIC in just a couple weeks. I think the big thing for me has just been trying to find a deck that I'm liking, trying to see, does it stand up to Marty's Grim Snarl, which is kind of the new hot deck on the market, but did go to the Wokey Pokey, again, one of our local game stores, did have a Destined Rivals testing event this past Saturday. So that was a lot of fun. I went and, I like my Dragapult decks. I like my Charizard decks. I like playing Pidgeot. So I play the Charizard Dragapult Pidgeot, a CDP, one might call it. Kind of a pile of a deck. Honestly, it kind of worked. It kind of bricked, went 3-1-1, but had some fun with it. It was a lot of fun, but decks like that are tough to play all day.
Bricking and going 3-1-1 is pretty good.
I mean, you got Pidgeot, you got Charizard. At the end of the day, once you get Pidgeot set up, you just start comboing. Stamp, Charizard is pretty tough for my decks
there at this point.
I do love some fish, so. But good weekend there. Other than that, just trying to figure out what I'm doing for Destined Rivals. Got kind of a busy work week, so looking to kind of lock in the rest of it during this week, and then gearing up for New Orleans. Parker, what's going on with you?
Yeah. So sadly I didn't get to play any Pokemon this weekend, but locals, we had the beach course sweep. We had
yeah, we did.
We did, yeah.
Eric and Maddox at 301, and then I was third at 3-1. I lost to Maddox. I got absolutely destroyed.
Thank you for that,
I super sacked Park. I mean, he went like I honored a 1, and I got down into I was I had a dead card. I'm man, I got nothing. Research into Rod Candy Charizard. It was I'm okay, that works, I guess.
Yeah, I was super excited to see you beat him, because I was I don't want to play against Gardy, bro.
Yeah, I wanted to play. I wanted that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Saturday was my day off. I went to Rally Point, which is another really, really good game store in the area. I always pick the worst days to go, because the last time I went, they were doing the prismatic raffle thing, and then this time they were doing the Destined Rivals raffle thing. So I was like, oh well, let me just
Why is
try
that the
my
worst
luck.
day to go? I mean, it sounds
Because there was a line of 20 people when I first got there.
Small.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm just gonna go somewhere else real quick. And then when I came back, there's the line has just finished, but it was super crowded in there.
Yeah.
But
when I got there was no line. I got my 1 pack,
yeah,
and I pulled an Art Rare Rapidash, so we're feeling
good.
Yeah, I did not make it to that.
Yeah, I got a Marnie's Grimmsnarl out of it, and then
there you go.
I actually, one of my friends that I used to wait for restocks with, came into the shop today, and he was like, "Yo," and he bought me a pack, and I pulled another Marnie's Grimmsnarl. So.
Is it the play, bro?
It might be.
Let's find out in our Bricking on Bourbon segment later.
Yeah.
What about you? You got the exciting life changes.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it was a whirlwind. I'll just keep it short and simple. Had to wait at the hospital for a long time because I had a busy night. We were getting induced, so we had to wait an extra day. So that sucked to start that way. But then once the process got started, it was super smooth. Baby came by May 19th around 1:30. Shoot got 10 centimeters super fast. So baby EJ, his name's Eric James. That's my first name, obviously, and then my late uncle who passed away, at a young age of mine. So very important name. I've always wanted a baby EJ in the house. If I had a boy, so we worked on that name for a long time. And so yeah, it's going good. He's sleeping pretty decently, honestly. I mean, he's getting 3 to 4 hours at a time, and we're starting to get into our routine a little bit. He had to go back to
More
the
than I
hospital
could
for
ask for.
had to go back to the hospital for jaundice for a couple of days. So that threw a wrinkle in our plan initially, but he's doing better now. He's growing. He's doing good. He's healthy. Things are going here. I had to go back to work today, so that really sucked.
What do you mean? It's Beach Core podcast. Shouldn't feel like work, man.
Yeah, no, this is great. I love this. But no, I had to go back to the real 9 to 5 today. It just sucks being away from him. But anyways, excited to give you guys some information before we jump into our Bologna
Bologna.
Bologna recap. I just finished my recent data analysis for the top 125 race because I'm gearing up for a big stream for NAIC since I'm not going. So I've got some cool stuff coming there. But I want to give you guys some data. The current cutoff for the top 125 is 138th place because we've got 13 players that are inside the top 125 that have auto-qualified. And that cutoff is currently 662 championship points. So I think we've kind of been predicting between 650 and 700. So that looks to be trending that way. Since the last time we talked about the data on May 12th, 29 additional players have maxed out their local CP. So we are seeing an uptrend in that locals. And this is as of yesterday, so there might be a couple that are still trickling in. There's 120 players that are missing like less than 20 points on their locals on average. So it's really, everyone's like pretty close. That if they're competing, it is like we thought. They were trying to finish their locals. So that's done. And then best finish limit, Portland was in there. There was I think there was another Mexican regional, like Latin American regional that happened, and then there was Bologna. So the best finish limit across North America went from 4.68 to 4.8 across my data set, which is again the top 300 players. Average major CP increase was average of 25 points. So that means that with basically 1.5-ish tournaments of data, it went up 25 points on average for majors. So if you kind of like expected value that to NAIC, you just add a little bit to it because NAIC points are more, you're going to see an increase of like 35 to 50 points probably for that like world's number. So I'm really expecting that world's number to be like 700 or greater for the 138 or 142, depending on who gets top 4. I do think that number is going to be like right at 700. So if you guys are pushing for your invite, and you don't know what you need to do for NAIC yet, that means you're not listening to this podcast because I kept you well updated all season. 700 is definitely the number. You got to get to that number. If you don't get to that number, I think you're going to be in trouble. I think we got some good players right on the outside looking in, like, King Dre's at 680, and he's looking for that last 20 points. He's been having a couple of, times trying to get there. Got some really good players right on the outside looking in. It's gonna be a fun race to watch, sitting at home, not having to like worry about it. And there is a possibility the auto invite goes down to 137 because Azul's sitting at 122. So if he doesn't get any points and he goes below the 125, then that'll push that number up by 1.
That's kind of funny.
So yeah, some interesting things I found in the data there. So good luck to everyone that's competing in New Orleans. Make sure to tune into my stream. I'll be kind of giving you updates after round 6. I'm going to be doing some simulations and updating the standings live. That way you guys can kind of keep an eye on the bubble next week, starting on Friday. NAIC is right around the corner. You guys got any questions? I dig the data pretty big today. Any thoughts on that?
No, I mean it's a tight race. Can't slip up. A lot of people are kind of relying on a strong finish at NAIC here.
I mean, right now it's 2 points.
Yeah,
you got 662 at 138 and 660 at 139. It's a 2-point race. And the 139 player has their locals finished, so they can't go up by that. So it's interesting.
And so 660. So if you're at 400 points for majors and you have your locals max, then you're currently on the outside looking in. So you'll need over 400 points.
Yeah.
Probably close to that 450 number.
Yeah.
With majors. So do the math, see what you need for NAIC.
Yeah. I think we're trying to like target 400 like at the beginning of the season. So, you know, it seems like our kind of predictions have come true that we need to be at least 400. It's crazy. It's a tight race. It's competitive, man. I mean, you got Adam Reinhart on the outside looking in, or right there on the inside.
He's right in.
Sorry, right on the inside. You got Landon Kettler. He's auto invite. He can also fall out of the 125 and push that number up by 1 also. So there's a couple auto invites that are right around that, you know, top 125 number. So if they fall out, it'll, you know, push them up. Yeah, so that's kind of my analysis. But let's jump into Bologna review. Before we do, I think Max, you've got some information for the people.
Yeah, again, listen, you know, we've been working, you know, again, gonna talk a little bit about FCBC real quick. We've been working them for a while, but we're actually super excited to offer you a great discount for FCBC sleeves ahead of NAIC. You know, it's hard to get like a great deal like this on sleeves. You know, sleeves are gonna cost, you know, 12, 13 bucks a person, every type of thing. But for right now, through the end of NAIC, using the code BeachCourtPod, you can get 30% off your FCBC orders on fcbcarmor.com. So again, code BeachCourtPod, 30% off your entire order of sleeves. If you haven't tried them yet, if you know you love them, or if you just want to support us on the pod, please head down to the description and pick up some sleeves today with the code BeachCourtPod. So thanks to FCBC for continuing to sponsor and support us.
Heck yeah. I'm super biased. Make sure you pick up the red blood reds. I'm a big fan of the blood reds.
Nah, these periwinkles are fire. Like,
oh yeah,
The periwinkles do be fire.
They are good though. They are good.
They are fire.
Yeah,
I mean,
30% off
periwinkle.
is nuts though. If you guys need to snag up some sleeves now, because that's really good. That's crazy.
30%
limited time
is crazy.
only till NAIC. The discount code will not be legal forever. So just for now, go and get your sleeves while you can.
And most importantly, appreciate y'all by using that code. You're supporting us. So appreciate y'all supporting and listening like you always do. So thank you.
Yep. Yeah, awesome. Let's jump into the results of the special event down in Italy. EU strikes again. What else can we say? I mean, Gardevoir has been tearing up the scene, and it looked primed to get another victory when it was like 2 in top 4, 3 in top 8. I just thought Gardevoir was going to win. But out of nowhere comes a Roaring Moon deck with a poison package to kind of, you know, slow down your evolutions, not allow Fez and Dark attackers to KO Gardevoir EXs pretty quickly and easily. So Simon Sean, I think that's how you pronounce their name. You know, out of, is that Switzerland? I think that's Switzerland logo.
Mm-hmm.
Out of Switzerland logo. Brought back the Pokemon catchers in finals. I feel like the world is right again. We got 4 Carmine, 4 Pokemon catchers. We got the, you know, the baby Koraidon, 3 energy switch. It's like just a traditional moon deck, like go fast moon deck. I know Parker, you've been hype on Moon for a while. Did this result surprise you?
It actually does, because like I to me, Moon was a deck you could like day 2 with, but I wasn't confident on the ability of it to like win the event, just because like a lot of matchups are kind of sketch. But I mean, like you saw in top 8, he just got a I opened Ancient Capsule and I opened the Stadium, and you opened Cleffa, so I just win this game for free. So I'm curious to see how many like just pure donks he had like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I look back and the game 1 was done, and I was like, bro, what?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, finals even. Like game 1 was just a donk.
yeah.
Donked lone rolls. So
Yeah.
you know, you gain so much win percentage on these trickier matchups. Like, you know, when Dragapult or Gardevoir sets up on you, things can get pretty dicey pretty quickly. But there's something to be said about just the extra like win percentage you get just from that donk explosive potential, right? We saw it with, you know, Cloth before rotation tearing things up. We saw it with Archaludon, you know, Poison Donk seeing success since rotation. I mean, this archetype we know can succeed, and it's back with a little bit of an familiar face in the Roaring Moon. And honestly, I mean, Simon, listen, I think some element, you know, to win a regional, you do have to be running a little bit hot. I mean, and Simon did not lose a game. I mean, sorry, he did not lose a set. He was 12-0-3.
Yeah.
Played against 3 Gardevoirs in day 2, including 1 in top 4 and 1 in finals, and was able to beat that. Anyone who's played this matchup, it's not as simple as, oh, well, Roaring Moon hits weakness.
Wait, you see how he
Gardevoir.
started?
Tie.
0-2 to start.
That's a sign. Never give up.
I mean, yeah, entered day 2 at 5:03, and then 1 out, and then
Bro, it was round 1
continue to win
opponent
out.
went 0-5-2. Shout out to Leonardo Rose.
But hey, they tied the champ, so honestly, that sounds like a win to
Yeah,
me.
that's like
That's a
man.
that's a win. That's great. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was shocked to see it that Dark Deck take it down like that. But I mean, at some point, you got to counter Gardevoir, right? You can
Yeah.
counter Dragapult all you like Guardy's been doing and taking advantage of it. But at some point, you got to take down Gardevoir too. So I mean, it's interesting to see this meta kind of evolving as we, ended this format and heading in towards Destined Rivals. Something cool I want to shout out. I want to shout out to Michelle Novak, 122nd place with none other than Feraligatr. So
Yeah.
7-4-1 with the Feraligatr deck in day 2. Got the trolley, got the Erica's Invitation in the deck. Got some cool spicy cards, in the deck here. So shout out to Michelle Novak. A $40 deck. You guys can just buy it and go and make day 2. So I mean, the game's never been more accessible, and and right now that's showing it. I mean, it's hard to buy packs and get the packs, open packs right now. But if you want to buy some singles, man, it's easy right now.
And it's funny, I mean, even looking at Simon's deck, I was thinking that Simon's deck can't cost that much, $74, but 15 of it is Pheasantipity, and the other 17 is Secret Box. So
Oh yeah, the Secret Box. You guys see Rahul's tweet today about the Secret Box price increase?
Yeah, I mean,
it's crazy.
I mean, like half the deck is just 2 cards.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, literally. Anyways, what else kind of shocked you guys from the results and down in Italy?
Somebody at 96th place, they must have heard and maybe their cousin played at our locals or something, because he day-two'd with the Mamoswine.
Yeah.
Which a deck that I genuinely think is good, but for some reason at Cool Stuff, there's a Stampede every Thursday.
So many.
There's like 4 or 5 Mamoswines like every Thursday for some reason.
Bro, I've tried to counter that deck twice, and I've hit a grand total of 0 Mamoswines. I'm like, what the heck? Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, Mamoswine be hitting.
Yeah.
What about you, Maddox? Any spicy decks catch your eye or any spicy results?
I mean, you got to talk about some of the quick basic results of just cards to be aware of. I mean, we did see, a little lower count of Dragapults in top 8, right? Only the 2, and both of them losing in top 8. One, the straight Dragapult build. I call it the 4x4 build, where you just play, a bunch of Research and Iono, and the Neo Upper Energy as your ace spec, plus a Dragapult Dusknoir. But lots of Gardevoirs, Terrabox, Joltik Box at 5th place as well, but cannot let things pass without shouting out Hydreigon EX top 16.
Yes.
We've seen this build a little bit before. Again, not too common, but it's definitely been around. And I think this one, I'm just double checking to see if it's an original list. Yeah, this is the original list of theirs, but you see the Hydreigon with the Pidgeot, with the Dunsparce for extra draw power, plus a Genesect. I mean, you're kind of playing a full pile of a deck, but just setting up a board state where you can go and end the game with a Disruption and an Obsidian, just sometimes can just create you winning scenarios. If you can just say, hey, I just need you to miss for 1 turn because I can take all 6 prizes at once. So again, really cool to see this. Shout out to Nettie for the top 16 with Hydreigon. Always cool to see these decks succeed. And honestly, maybe a deck that has been a little bit underrated across the board, because we do see it, it's had a couple spikes like this, but I think this is the highest one yet. So top 16.
I'm gonna have to give you guys a number because I don't know the number. I literally just sorted my playables today. I own an absurd amount of Hydreigons because I believed in the deck. All right, let me count this. 4,
actually, I think I remember you buying a bunch and being like, hey, you want these Hydreigons? I was like, I think I'm good. And you're like, no, what do you mean?
I have 10.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez.
Wait, hold up. Let me snag one of those Fez.
$15.
Yeah.
It's yours.
Wait, also a fun fact, he was undefeated until round 12. He lost his winning into top 8.
Oh, wow, really? Oh, that's
The
right. Yeah, they
Joltik
were.
box.
Yeah, that's right. They were.
Very close to seeing a Hydreigon
in top 8.
Cut. You also see a Walls make top 32. Again, just calling out because it doesn't happen too much. So, still sticking around.
Right. Speaking of not happening too much, gotta call this out. 6 players took this deck to Bologna. 2 of them day 2'd. Any ideas what the deck is?
It's not a Spothra, right?
It's a deck that someone on this podcast at one point said was dead.
Pidgeot Control.
Chen
Pidgeot
Pao.
Control. Alessandro Cremascoli came on this podcast, told us that Pidgeot Control was dead, just to show up and play Pidgeot Control to a 39th place finish while he's opening his store, getting all this testing in. Got the Turtonator, got the Garganackle, a Zerosix, 2 redeemable tickets because he's got to get it to his prize cards. So one's not enough because you might prize it, so you want the second. Really interesting deck. Got the Team Star Grunt in here. This probably is the first time this has ever played in a deck list. Yep, it was. This is the first time it's ever made a deck list.
Yeah,
so
Team Star Grunt put an energy patch your opponent's active Pokemon on top of their deck.
yeah,
I think again against you combo that with the Turtonator and its fully Singe attack. You discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon EX. So they have a Dragapult in the active. You go put energy on top of the deck. You go discard another energy. Makes it hard for them to respond with another.
You can also
Phantom
go
Dive.
Garganackle, discard the card.
What? Oh, discard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Knocking Hammer does 130, discard the top card of your opponent's deck.
Yeah, well, so Garganackle, so again, Garganackle's played for few reasons. So there's a Knackley with 1 fighting energy as corner. It's a solid retreat lock, and also it's a fighting typing, so something like Gladios will never take damage because it resists. But he did play the Burr Candies to combo with the Garganackle. We're seeing a couple Garganackles. This one from Paldea evolved with Blessed Salt. During Pokemon Checkup, heal 20 damage for each of your Pokemon, so stops things like Frostlass, stacking damage, and any Monkey Door shenanigans, but then the Knocking Hammer for 2 fightings, discard the top card of your opponent's deck. So you could go put an energy on top of the deck and then remove it.
Also, the first time that card had made day 2.
I'm not surprised. An absolute pile of a deck, but shout out to Alessandro for, again, doing what he does very well.
He just does it, man. He just does it so good. Wait, what is this first time? This one too? No, okay, never mind. All right, so yeah, looks like just the 2 debuts of new cards.
Someone's played a Ruffian before?
Yeah, someone's played a Ruffian before, yeah.
There's a Ruffian and Joltik box? Now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking.
Shout out Esteban and Santiago, so.
All right, I think that's going to wrap up our conversation for Bologna. You guys have any closing thoughts before we move on to bricking on bourbon? All right. I'm going to start sharing my screen, so those of you that are on anything other than Spotify or YouTube, you will have to come to one of those platforms to kind of listen to us and see what's going on. As a reminder, those of you that are on Spotify, we do upload our videos to you every week, so you have access to watch our beautiful faces while we talk to you and see our shared content. So I'm going to start sharing my screen, and we're going to go over the online meta results from Destined Rivals and all the tournaments this weekend. These are the results according to Limitless.com. There's 25 tournaments of data that are here, and none other than Grimmsnarl Frostlass is the most popular deck online. Will these results hold into a major tournament? To be determined.
When we combine, click the checkbox, does that change the stats?
Does.
Okay.
Yes. So Dragapult is, if we combine them, Dragapult is number 1. Okay. All right, so Dragapult's number 1 if you combine them, but Marnie's Grimmsnarl number 2 if you don't. Okay. But yeah, the win percentages here, what showed up to me when I looked here was a lot of 50+% win percentage. It's early, right? There's only 25 tournaments of data. But that's still a lot of data.
Yeah.
So that's still a good amount of data. Ethan Typhlosion is kind of doing the worst out of like the new decks here. And even like Charizard, a deck like Charizard that we thought was going to be pretty good in this format's not having a good time early into the online meta. So the meta breakdown is Dragapult first, Marnie's Grimmsnarl second, Gardevoir third, Raging Bull fourth, Ethan's Typhlosion fifth, Rocket's Mewtwo 6th, Joltik Box 7th, Goldango 8th, Cynthia's Garchomp 9th, and Charizard at 10th. I did kind of like comb through some tournament results. I'll tell you what, Goldango Dragapult has been tearing it up this weekend. I think it's probably got like 2 or 3 tournament victories. What stood out to you guys? What do you guys think about this meta?
I think that the Marnie and the Mewtwo and the Ethan might be like very slightly inflated just because it is the new kid on the block. But they are all decks that I think you should test for NAIC. But I think like you'll see a bit more Guardian Bolts and Polts. I wouldn't be surprised if Dragapult's still #1 at NAIC.
Yeah, we always see this type of thing when it comes to the online new decks, right? People want to, it's easy to try the new cards online, enter a tournament with it. So I do agree, like Ethan's Typhlosion, Rockets Meteor are cool decks. I think they're a little overinflated here. I still think that big three is still pretty undisputed. The Dragapult and Gardevoir and Raging Bolt, and I think is now sharing the line with potentially Marnie's Grimmsnarl. Again, it sees a little bit of a higher play rate online because it's easier to access, but I think it's a deck that is a serious contender for NAIC, and that, it's one of the decks that you need to be looking out for. I think the question will just be how many people end up picking up the cards and showing up with the deck.
Yeah, it's got relative weakness too with Gardevoir in the format, being able to one-shot a Gardevoir and spread damage to the bench. A key interaction that most people need to know about if you haven't tested Super enough is that Shaman, the new card that we got in Destined Rival, which is a bench barrier for your non-EX Pokemon. That's it, right? Basic? Is it what's the rule box on Shaman?
That's just not non-rule box Pokemon.
Non-rule box, okay. Your non-rule box cannot take damage, and so Marnie is not Dragapult. It does spread damage. Oh, there you go. It does spread damage and not damage counter. So that's gonna be a key interaction that you gotta remember if you do play Marnie's Grimmsnarl, or if you're playing something against it. Just remember that you can shut off their kind of effect of the attack just by having a Shaman on your bench.
Yeah. I think the real part about Marnie's Grimmsnarl is like an evolution of the Monkey Dory Frostlass, like Badoo deck, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Badoo Frostlass, where now you have a strong attacker that it can self-accelerate. You're playing lots of dark energies, and it can hit relevant weakness plus spread some damage. Shaman does stop Grimmsnarl's attack, but honestly, I think Shaman's maybe a bit of a trap in the matchup, just because if you have a Shaman sitting on your bench, it's getting Monkey Dory ticked, like. Honestly, it doesn't even matter if you have it, like, over enough time, it's going to get some damage. You can Monkey Dory, to it and just take it off the board and then do your extra 30 chip damage. So, plus we're playing Devolution. This deck is, like, honestly really nasty, and a deck to probably be ready for, especially for any of those Evolution decks.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's interesting that I think Marnie's is, like, out of the new decks, it's probably, like, the strongest. Out of the new decks. I mean, you would think Team Rockets would be because of its ultra consistency, but like just doesn't have the power level there across the meta. You see the win rate online is just under 50%, with 83 matches. So I don't know. We'll have to see where this meta goes. But I'm gonna give you guys some early predictions. So exclude Marnie's Grimmsnarl because we think it's the best, right? What's the next highest played new deck between like Ethan's, Rockets, Cynthia's?
Highest played or highest
played at NAIC? Played.
Just the new stuff.
Yeah, just the new stuff. What do you think's gonna be like the most popular deck out of those like three?
After probably Rocket, unless people really get on like this Ethan deck. I guess just Rocket though.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go Ethan's. I think the Rocket, it's gonna be a little bit tricky to find. You can't play a lot of the familiar cards. You have to play like a brand new deck, brand new engine. You don't get any Fez or Mew support draw. I do think a lot of people are seeing Ethan's Typhlosion either as its own standalone deck, as like a single prize version. You could also play with Dragapult. There's popular ways going around with that. But also we've even seen it in City Leaks as like an engine in Goldango. So I think, decks with Typhlosion in it could potentially even outweigh the Rockets deck by the end of NAIC.
Oh my god, I won another one today. That's
Lee Boy with the Lee Boy difference.
That's a different one though. It's won like at least 3 tournaments.
Yeah. Well, it's just King Heracross is just it's literally, if you go to Goldango, right, there's the top 5 finishes are Lee Boy and King Heracross all just playing the deck.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, they're like, Goldango is, I'm not even sure how well positioned it is, but I think the key is, when, you see a lot of these online tournaments and when you have, high caliber players coming through and playing them consistently, then we are going to see good results with it. So I think I take some of these with a little bit of a grain of salt. the known online grinders will continue to grind online and be better than most people playing in most tournaments. So
I'm
I
trying to
think
find the. I was trying to find the Gardy Dragapult list.
Oh my god.
What tournament was that?
that ain't real, so I ain't worried about it.
I
but-
got like third place.
Yeah, so
I'm saying it's
as
kind
they
of
say in the
cool.
business, it's an online Mickey. So-
Yo, chill, bro. Online Mickeys are real, bro. Anyway, somewhere
How
in here
does
there
that
was
even
a
work?
there was
yeah,
a
it was a cool deck. It was Gardevoir with I think a 3/3 Dragapult line.
had one fire, one luminous.
Yeah,
I played
so
E-Switch.
yeah, so I had some cool combo pieces to be able to allow you to attack with Dragapult, and also if
Listen.
you miss Refinement Curlia, you get a little bit of a draw engine.
So we
with
got
Recon
Curly at home.
Directive.
That's right. All right. Any other tidbits before we jump on to the next segment? We'll have our full recap and dive into NAIC meta next week to get you prepped, but this is kind of just a primer.
I think a
There's
little
a-
thing I just want to talk on for a second is, when everyone's listening to this, NAIC is literally a week away. So, if you're between any of these, top few decks, which one do you think as of right now is a little better positioned? Obviously our advice from those parties players you're most comfortable with. If you're listening to this, lock in on a deck. You too, Parker. Just lock in on a deck. Because like the week that you have to prep is gonna be much better for you than listening and waiting to see whatever tier list comes out on Tuesday or Wednesday by insert name of content creator. So I mean, y'all, if you're between like a Marty's Grimmsnarl, a Dragapult, or like a Gardevoir or Raging Bolt, like what do you think is maybe the better positioned deck and the one that has a better chance to win the whole thing?
I mean, not Raging Bolt. I don't think Raging Bolt is positioned well at all right now. I mean, I watched there was a tournament this weekend in Ohio at Full Grip Games where they had at 3K. I just watched Marty's Grimmsnarl just completely win into attacks, and it was just like disgusting what it was able to do. I don't think it beats Dragapult consistently. So I don't see Raging Bolt being the deck that you should choose to play unless like you're just most comfortable deck. Like, and that's fine. If it's your most comfortable deck and you play it to like the highest rate you can play, and you play good, you will win games. The deck does that. It's supposed to do that. But I think as of right now, if I were to say like a deck is the pick for this weekend or the next weekend at NAIC, it's still just Dragapult. You just have to tech your deck to like whatever the meta is. And if that means you got to start putting in like mist energies or things like that to play around Devos, whatever it is you have to do, like just do whatever you have to do to beat Marnie's. Because that's probably the only deck you're going to struggle into with it. And Guardy, obviously. But Dragapult's just so good. It's so broken. The attack's very good. I played it last week to our locals on Thursday. It was Wednesday. I don't know.
Say probably.
I think it was Wednesday. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I played it on Friday. Sorry, I played it on Friday. I went to locals.
Oh,
on
Friday. Yeah.
So I played it on Friday. I played the Dragapult with the Crobat. And the Crobat allows you to place additional damage counters. Bro, it's so broken. Because like the Golbat is 2-1. So you got 2 Golbats, that's 4 damage counters. And you've got the Crobat EX, you got 2 of those, and each of those is 2 more to 2 additional Pokemon. So you start doing the math, you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14 damage counters. That's a lot for Dragapult.
That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage for Dragapult. And if you didn't know, in a situation where like maybe you're against Guardy, you got Crobat, you attach the Mewtwo Team Rocket to it, you can hit it for a lot of damage and clean it up later. Because it doesn't KO, because it only does 120. But the important part is it puts it back in your hand and you can just do it over again. So it is kind of like the Team Rocket's Crobat is like a really good, like, in a deck that can't OHKO you, it's a great thing to like sit there and just attack with. Because, you can just take a hit and then pick it up the next turn after you attack again. Yeah. So you can do 240 damage. Yeah. Parker, what about you? What do you think is big decks for NAIC?
I think that I'm going to dedicate a lot of time to Grimmsnarl. At the same time, like, it made me think, like, if Grimmsnarl is just devoing things to win, why can't you do that with Dragapult too? But I guess they do have like the Frostlass package that just makes it a passive way of just doing damage while you just either do them or hit them really hard with Grimmsnarl or corner them. So, I don't know, but I think I'm gonna be putting most of my time into Grimmsnarl, I think.
That's fair.
I think for me, I think you know, of those decks, I think Marty's Grimmsnarl is very good and it's going to win games. It's going to have a good showing. I don't know if it's a deck that can fully dominate. I think too many players will be ready for it and that it's not going to see a high enough play rate. I do think it could be a good weekend for a faster Dragapult deck, right? If you're playing options like with the Charizard, you'll get energy into play, some candies, being able to go and capitalize off a slow start from Grimmsnarl and go and, you know, pick off the Frostlass and Impidimps before they can get going. But other than that, we cannot forget Gardevoir. Gardy's been dominating the format. Yes, Shaman comes out. A lot of decks aren't going to play it. I still think Gardy is a good deck to watch out for. Even if you have a tricky time to Grimmsnarl, it's not an auto loss by any means.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot of very talented Gardevoir players show up playing Gardevoir and do very well at NAIC.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, Gardy's always there. We know it.
Yeah.
Insert deck list. Henry Chow will make top 8 with Gardevoir.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of Pokemon stuff for NAIC. But again, before we're breaking on Bourbon Street, it's about more than just the Pokemon. There's a lot to do in New Orleans, a lot of culture to enjoy. Gents, you know, Eric and I won't be joining, but you've been to New Orleans several times. We had a great time last year.
Yeah.
And what's something that, you know, if you're going back that you'd make sure you get to again?
Yeah, I mean, our morning that we did with Cafe Du Monde and going and getting the beignets, and you know, I think do we ever do the deck list picture idea?
I did a deck list photo at Cafe
Okay,
Du
yeah.
Monde
So like,
and got powdered
Maddox
sugar
had, like
all
a
over my
deck list
deck.
idea with like putting some, you know, Cafe Du Monde donut stuff on it. It's not that bad of a wait. You just wait a little bit. They're pretty quick. They do it well. The area's nice down there. Take a walk around. Take a stroll. There's a lot of culture down there, man. It's just like the vibe when you're walking down there is just like, wow, there's a lot of history here. And so, you know, got some local musicians playing outside Cafe Du Monde. Get you some beignets and yeah, enjoy them donuts.
Sure.
Mark, what about you? What are you looking forward to doing in New Orleans?
I'm looking forward to that atmosphere. But I think that it's like pretty, not like super cheap, but it's fairly affordable for me to stay at the Caesars. So I'm gonna stay there and I'm gonna see what they have to
boy.
offer.
Oh boy.
Yeah, be rolling some dice in the tournament and you know, maybe on the side too.
Parker, we should just play the Pokemon catcher deck, bro.
Might be onto something.
Maybe I should. I do have like pre-rotation remove sleeved up still.
I mean,
With
Moon
the
might not be
catchers.
bad, right? If Gardevoir's gonna be there,
Yeah.
not be that bad.
Just frenzied gouging Grimmsnarl. It can't possibly go wrong.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, what could they'll never counter catcher and then just hit you for 30 on the bench. That'll literally never happen.
Never,
Not even
ever.
once.
Exactly.
You just
Yeah.
unfair stamp them before you do it. That's all.
Oh yeah.
Not the unfair stamp and Moon that I played against at Worlds. So, I think just to add on to the other guys before we head on to the next bit. But the Riverwalk again, French Quarter, right near Cafe Du Monde. I mean, you know, the French Quarter brings so much culture, but also like part of next to that is the Mississippi River. Like, you know, the Mississippi River, the one you always hear about and that, you know, learn about in school. It runs through New Orleans. So definitely after you get your Cafe Du Monde, you know, go stop by the Riverwalk. Honestly, just like walk down the park, you know, go see the levees, you know, and just enjoy that Riverwalk. You can take the Riverwalk. You can take the Riverwalk all the way from the convention center up to French Quarter or all the way back down. So again, as much as we love to play our cards, don't stay inside the convention center, inside your hotel
Do
and
not.
grind all day.
Yeah, don't.
Make sure you get out, listen to some music, get some good food, you know, touch some grass, as they say.
I mean, that
have
food
a
we
fun
had
time.
the first night, Maddox, where we just like went to the random like spot up the street.
Mhm.
That food was really good too.
I mean,
there's just
so
so
much
many good
good
local
like New Orleans
restaurants.
cuisine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get some food. I mean, I still, you know, to this day remember the moment I saw Torrid walking down Bourbon Street last year, and I was like, "We've made it as a community. We've made it." So make sure you guys go have some fun. Let's move on. Next up, I got trivia. You guys, I'm back. I'm sorry. I gotta come stump
Oh,
you a little bit
gosh.
again. But before we
Nah,
do,
I
do
think you're
wanna-
distracted. I think your brain's off with all the new KJ baby taking care of your wife things
Yeah,
like that. I think you got a
yeah.
softball question. It'll take us about
I got a
10
good
seconds to
question.
solve
I
it.
got a good question. Honestly, I got a good
All right,
question.
all right. Show us what you got.
All right. Before I do, I want to give a quick shout out to Nakama Anime Cafe. They got a new shop opening soon called Nakama Gaming. It's technically open now, soft openings. But June 28th is our grand opening here in Northeast Florida. We will be there playing in some Elite Four matches. I think Maddox is out of town that weekend. Parker and I will be there. We got boba, we got ramen, we got gaming, we got cards, we got card shows. Come on out, have
All
a
the
good
good
time.
stuff.
It's all free entry. So just come out and have a good time.
And 30% off your FCBC sleeves with code Beach4Pod.
Code
Link in the
Beach4Pod.
description. Thanks again for supporting the podcast and picking up some FCBCs.
Yep. All right. So we're talking New Orleans. So of course my trivia is going to be about New Orleans. This is about the tournament last year, NEIC in New Orleans. I'm going to give you I'm warming you up here. There were 6 decks that were, the top 6 meta decks, and they were the same top 6 meta decks in day 2. Do you know what those 6 decks are? That's just a warm-up question.
Oh, this is the warm-up? Okay, so I mean, so the decks from last year, Gardevoir, Raging Bolt, Lugia. What else do people play then?
Lost Zone Box, because he won.
Yeah, Lost Zone Box. I don't know. I didn't think I made the graphic, but I guess it did.
Dragapult.
What else we got? Dragapult was on the graphic. Its first tournament. Yeah.
Yep.
That deck will never stick. For sure, right?
that was the tournament because like the Japanese was like 35% of the meta.
Yeah. And then the last one was Maridon. So those are the 6,
course, yeah.
right? I would like you to rank these 6 decks in terms of conversion rate from day 1 to day 2. Rank the 6 decks in conversion rate order. You get no freebies. You got to get all 6 right.
Easy peasy. All right, so Parker. So again, we gotta go with the memes. Everyone loves about talking about eating their crayons. So like Maridon and Raging Bolt did not convert as well as the others. I think the ones that converted the best last year are probably the Lost Box and Gardevoir. I'm not sure in which order. Lugia converted a little bit positively, and then Dragapult. Actually, Dragapult probably did worse than even the crayon decks.
Dragapult probably was the worst. If I had to guess, it was probably the worst.
Yeah, I think you're right there. So worst we'll say was Dragapult. Was next Raging Bolt or Maridon? Probably Raging Bolt. I mean, with Gardevoir being that popular, Maridon couldn't have been that bad.
Probably Bolt.
So Bolt, Maridon at 4th.
Maridon. No, Lugia's got to be 4th.
No, Lugia. I think Lugia converted positively.
I thought there was only like 6 in day 2 or something like that.
No,
Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing.
Well, actually, I guess Lugia and Maridon in the same format. You have to consider that. That's another good matchup for Maridon.
Still winnable.
Still winnable. So maybe Lugia was 4th, Maridon's 3rd, and then I think Gardevoir was still number 1 conversion rate, and then Lost Box after that.
Well, wait. Everyone was like shocked when Jesse had his Worlds run. So maybe the general public thought Maridon was bad. Right? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. I forget exactly what was dominating at the time where Maridon wasn't well positioned.
Charizard, right?
Actually, yeah, true. Yeah, I think Charizard's probably what was holding it back, but Charizard didn't really show up that well. So, all right. We got to move it along so we can talk about this upcoming NAIC, but we think Dragapult at the bottom, and then Bolt.
Probably.
You think Maridon or Lugia at that 4th spot? I'm okay with either, honestly.
Let's just say Maridon, I guess.
Maridon, Lugia at 3rd, best conversion. And then I think while Lost Box did end up winning,
I think it was Gardy, right?
But I think Gardy was probably still the best conversion.
Wasn't Gardy like 6 of top 8, or is it the wrong tournament?
It was a lot of top 8, yeah. So I think we'll go, Eric. We'll go Gardy at number 1, and then Lost Box, Lugia, Maridon, Raging Bolt, and Dragapult.
Okay, so you've got Gardy, Lost Zone Box, Lugia, Maridon, Raging Bolt, Dragapult.
Correct.
Locking it in?
I didn't say it twice to go back on it now. So.
You've got 0 correct.
Well, we're probably off by just one placement, right? I mean, we just swapped them around. None of the listeners knew this, unless if they did, they would have to tell us in the comments below. But no,
You got 0 correct. All right. But you are right. Everything is just one off. So, swap Guardian Lost Zone Box. Lost Zone Box had an 18.3% conversion rate. Guardian had a 16.6% conversion rate.
wait, what was the difference in percentage?
18.3 and 16.6.
That's the same thing. Come on.
And then Miraidon was third at 12.6. Lugia was fourth at 9.6. Dragapult was fifth at 9.2, and Raging Bolt at 8.7 and 6.
So we basically got it perfectly.
No, you got it completely wrong. This is the worst you've ever done on a question. You got 0 or 8.
No, we just shifted them around a little bit. Don't worry about it.
I wanted to give you like 1 leeway. I thought about it, but I was like, nah, 1. I think they'll get it. I didn't think you guys were gonna do that bad.
Man, you would have done worse than us.
I
Come
gave
on.
you the 6 decks.
Yeah.
Yo, real question though, where was Chen Pao? Shout out Nick Moffitt, top 16 with Chen Pao.
Chen Pao day 1 was 3.1%.
But day 2, 3.4% positive conversion.
Oh, anyways, that was a lot of fun. Thanks for enjoying your pain with me. Let's jump into our fantasy draft. So, I'm going to be sharing an Excel sheet just for those of you that are listening at home if you want to follow along to our draft. We're going to do our fantasy draft. Last time we did this was for LAIC. We missed it for UIC. Sorry about that. We'll make sure we catch all 3 next year. Rules pretty similar to what we had before. But previously we did top 8. But since Worlds is the top 5 best finish limit, only your 5 best finishes are going to count.
Ouch.
So you got to make sure you get some good draft picks in there. Because you need the best 5 that you can get. You have to draft 1 player from each region, 1 from Latin America, 1 from Europe, 1 from Canada, US, and Oceania. And there's some bonuses available.
Oh, shoot.
If your player gets a day 2, if one of your players gets day 2, for each one, you will get 25 points for each one of the day 2s. If you pick the winning deck right, because we've also picked the winning deck, you will get 50 bonus points. And one of your players has to be a player who is currently outside of Worlds qualification for North America. And you will tell me who that player is when you draft them, that this is your 125 player. And if you are right and they qualify for Worlds with a great performance in NAIC, you will get an additional 25 bonus points. You are playing for FCBC packs. I'm going to be giving away my allotment. So you will be playing for some FCB packs. Make sure that you win, otherwise I could keep them.
Ooh.
All right, Maddox, you got the most World Championship points here, so you're going last. I've got the second most, so I'm going second.
I thought I was going to say, because you're going first.
Parker, you've got the least, so you've got the number 1 overall draft pick.
We're doing snake draft, right?
Snake draft, yep. Okay. You are now on the clock. Who do you want?
All right, very first person. Why did my thing go away? Cyrus.
Cyrus Davis?
Yes.
Okay, Cyrus Davis. And are they a top 125 player, or what are you doing?
They're outside, but that is not my... Actually, I guess that could be my bonus.
You don't have to be.
No. Okay, no. It won't be my bonus. It will not.
Okay.
Hey, they're a former NAIC champion. You can never go wrong
Exactly.
with someone who's already done it before.
Correct.
All right, I'm up next. So this is green. This is a home run for me. Easy pick. I'm taking Brent Tonneson. Got to get that best player in Oceania out of the way. So I'm taking Brent Tonneson. Maddox, you're up. You've got 2 draft picks in a row. Who do you want?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think the other best player off the board, almost got 4 regional wins this past year. No hider from success. Incredible Gardevoir, still good position. Give me Henry Chow.
Easy.
I mean, you can't not pick this guy.
Yeah, you can't not pick him for sure.
Unless you're Parker, but that's an aside. So,
all right, who's your next pick?
I got another pick. I got to figure out if this person will make it to next time. Got to play a little bit of the draft format, but I think that I'll have a chance to pick this person later. So for now, I'm going to lock in our reigning NAIC champion, Andrew Hedrick, a top player from North
Ooh.
America. Again, who shows up big for these tournaments. Off school, going to show up in a big way.
Okay. I'm up next. I'm filling out my colorful card. I'm taking Fabrizio. He's the best player in Latin America, in my opinion. Easy layup. I just gotta get the I gotta get the ones that are hard to get, man. I get the good ones that I want. Just want to get those off the board. So, I'm taking Fabrizio. Parker, you're up next.
Wrong color, but yeah. Listen.
Wrong color. Is it this color? Wait,
Yeah.
no.
It's the purplish color.
Fabrizio's from LA.
Oh, I did choose the wrong color. Oops.
Parker, who you got? You got 2 picks back.
I got yep. I've got I'm picking Vinny. Then I'm
Vinny
picking
Fernandez.
Yes. I guess I should name everyone's last names too. And then Stefan Ivanhoff from the Europe.
Is it PHEN?
Yeah, PHANE.
A-N-E.
A-N-E. Thank you.
Yep.
I knew it was something different. Okay. So you're going Europe, getting Europe off the board. All right. So now I gotta look at Europe before it gets back to Maddox because he's got 2 picks. Who do I think's coming? That's the question. I mean, Tord's got to show up, right?
He'll be there for sure.
I'm taking Tord. He's got to show up.
You never go wrong with picking Tord Reklev.
Look at these three bosses.
Absolutely.
See, you got the popular names, but there's someone who very secretly, very quietly is having what could actually be the best season of the year. Daniel Magda has top-8'd LAIC and EUIC, and he's going to top-8 NAIC as well. Daniel Magda.
Do you know if he's playing?
Oh, he's got to go for the best season ever. Of course he's going to be there.
All right.
And then in addition to that, do you want to get another name off the board for Oceania? A lot of good players in Australia here. And honestly, I might come back for another one of them later. But for now, I just got to lock in Natalie Millar. Fantastic player. Again, finalist from EUIC and also top-8'd the previous NAIC. They show up to play. If I can't pick Brent, then you cannot go wrong with Natalie Millar, who again has honestly had pretty good success at these before between both of them. I guess actually Brent and Natalie both were finalists at the last 2 ICs. So
yeah, those are pretty good picks.
Pretty good picks.
Okay. I am between 2 players.
Well, unfortunately, you can only pick one.
I know.
For now.
I'm trying to think which one's more likely to get back to me. I have to just go through just Parker twice.
Yeah, I have a bunch of.
Okay.
Good picks.
All right, I'm taking Caleb Rogerson. Having an awesome season. Number 2 on the leaderboard, and
good pick.
Really killing it. So I'm taking Caleb Rogerson. All right, Parker, you got 2 picks. What you got?
All right. I forgot I had to do Oceania. But Henry Brand would be my pick for that. And then I don't want to butcher the name, but Fabian Pujol, I think is how you pronounced it.
Fabian? It's Fabian.
Fabian. It's okay, Fabian.
He's
Europe,
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't want to spell that wrong. What place is he in?
I didn't look at place.
I think it's Fabian.
Yeah, Fabien.
And then Pujul.
Okay. OL?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks. All right, cool. My player is there. I am taking.
It's not Oceania.
Oh, shit, I am taking one of my favorite players in the season. They're a new player. I've become friends with them. He's taught me a lot about editing. He helps out Gabe Smart with editing. He's been on a tear. He's got a couple of top 8s back to back, and he's bound to break through and get a win. I'm taking Owen Dalgard.
On my list, boo.
Been on tear lately.
All right, Maddox, back-to-back picks. Who you got?
Let's see. Got to lock up a couple more good names. Another young player, and who also top 8'd last year's NAIC, plus has been on a good top 8 spring on himself, and has been a guest of the Beach Court podcast. Give me Bass/Mitt for my next pick here. Again, just these young kids that are, playing the game very, very well. Want to see them continue to thrive and succeed. And another player I need to pick, none other than our latest regional champion. Give me Michael Davidson.
Yeah. I was gonna take him if you didn't.
Hey, he's good. I mean, listen, if he's playing Guardy with Henry Chow, I basically feel like I have like 2 chances with like top Gardevoir players to just go and like win the event.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a player that, according to them, is having a terrible season. According to me, he's top 16. I'm taking John Eng. He seems hungry. He's top 16. He's been killing it. He's really hungry for that win or that top 4 finals appearance. So him and, Isaiah Bradner and all them, they always cook up something good for the ICs. So give me John Eng. Parker, who we got?
I got Ian Robb, and I got Piper.
Piper Lapine.
All right.
Wrong. A couple solid North American players. Destined for some
Good.
success. Destined rivals for some success, perhaps.
Ooh.
Should I pick Eder for the memes?
Nah.
I don't know, man. Who do I want? This is tough.
You're on the clock.
Actually, you know what? This is a stretch. This is a stretch because it's like plus 130 for him not to show up to the tournament, I think. Give me Azul GG.
I think he's showing up to that one for sure.
He was supposed to show up to Portland, didn't show up to Portland.
Well, NAIC is different than Portland.
Maybe.
I'm just saying. So
Actually,
solid player. What was
like-
that, Parker?
I was actually forgot about Azul. I don't know how, but
I agree. There is an extremely real chance he just does not show up. So
Yeah. I think if anyone wants to take the bet right now, I'll give you plus 130 that he doesn't show up.
Anyways, again, gotta wrap up some more names. Again, I've been waiting on picking Latin America for a while, but it would be disrespectful to wait any longer to pick this player. From Latin America, gotta go with I'm going Pedro Petrucci.
Okay, Pedro. Okay.
Pedro Petrucci. Again, extremely solid player, shows up big to these international championships. Again, confident in his performance and what they're always cooking. They most recently innovated with the Gardevoir Arvins, bringing that back in the Evo. So excited to see what they cook up for Worlds. And again, let's see here. I'm actually going to go with, another one. This region is not respected a lot, but this testing group is extremely good. And again, shows up well to ICs, plays well. Give me Kaiwin Kabebe from Oceania.
Yeah.
And locking in again. I feel like if I got Brett, Natalie, and Kaiwin, man, it can't.
Yeah, but you didn't get Brett.
These hooks are too good.
Okay, good pick. I like that pick. That's a sleeper. That's a good 8th round pick.
I got top 4 at NAIC last year. He's good.
Yeah, what do you mean sleeper?
I'm like,
well, it's such a small draft. Like everyone's a sleeper because everyone's so good.
True.
When they sleeping on you, tuck them in.
I'm considering to pick Giovanni, but I just don't know if he's going.
Can't answer that for you.
Yeah, I know.
He can't play Cloth, but he could play Tropicos, and he could play an Octal deck, which he also has done pretty well with. So.
Okay. Actually, I'm gonna go with Sanjay, and this is my Worlds
Sanjay.
qualifier pick.
Yep. Sanjay. Shout out to Sanjay. And a friend of FCBC Armor.
Friend of FCBC. So I'm taking Sanjay. He's having some good results at full grip and playing well there. He's at 143rd place currently on the leaderboard. His locals are max. He doesn't have any open finishes, but just has to replace a 40. If you can replace it with a 100-point finish, then I feel good about my chances. And I feel good about that player being able to do that.
There we go. Can't go wrong. Parker, back over to you.
Oh, it is me. Sorry. All right, I am going Benny Billinger.
Nice. Is it ER?
I think it's I think.
Where you at, Benny? ILL. Okay. Benny Bellinger. Okay.
And then this one's tough because it's like my last pick, and there's
got
more
two picks.
people I wanted to put. Yeah, no,
Yeah, you
I
got
know,
two
I
You
know.
get 2 people, yeah.
Yeah.
But you still have to get one outside the top 125 in North America.
Well,
Yeah,
Cyrus
yeah.
could just be that.
Oh, sure. Cyrus can be.
I
that,
guess I
sure.
could. I guess I could just put Cyrus as that, but all right, I'll do Julius Brunfeld.
Okay.
Good pick.
That is a good pick. Let me
Right off the top 8. Or I think top 4 is Gardevoir.
I mean, he's got 2 top 8s in a row, right?
I think
He's
so.
playing very, very well.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Okay.
Back over to you, Eric. You also have 2 picks left, so we gotta
All right.
make these last few count.
I'll make these last few count. Want a little bit. I don't want a little bit more color. I might want some color. Nah. I'm going with an Isaiah I trust.
Isaiah
so
Bradner.
I am taking the Bradner testing group. Him and John Ang are gonna tear it up. You took the Oceania testing group. I took the Bradner testing group.
Yeah. And Rahul's still available. So
Yeah. All right. These are your last 2 picks.
my last 2 picks. Listen. There's so many talented players. It's impossible to pick them all.
Yeah, it is.
I do think well, I think my honorable mention here is me for Grant Manley, the world's
World's
unluckiest player. But unlucky for him, meaning a top 16, which is pretty good. But a player who's been doing a little bit better than that lately has been Calvin Connor. Been on an absolute tear lately, playing extremely consistently, playing lots of different decks. I think that he'll be in a very, very good position. And then last of all, for my final pick, you're getting to pick someone who's outside the top 125. I'm going for a solid player, someone who is a former regional champion, who has an open finish NAIC and has a big way to show up at NAIC. And I think we'll go and do that with everything on the line. Also has the dad buff like Eric. Give me JW Krewall.
Oh, that's a good pick. Where is he on the leaderboard?
He's down at like 160. He's under John Krewall. So he has 360 local major points, but with an open finish. So if he gets a 100 points at NAIC, that puts him at
Okay, here he goes.
460.
Yeah, open finish. He's at 587. Okay. All right. That's a bold pick. Bold pick, Cotton.
He's a regional champion. He's been on the grind.
Yeah.
I don't think anything was bold about that. That's
a bold pick, Cotton. All right. My last pick. I'm just taking the whole group. my
putting all his eggs in one basket.
I mean, I'm taking the whole group, man. Rahul's my 10th pick. That's a pretty good 10th pick. But like you said, there's so many good players. Sorry if we didn't select you. Not because you aren't good enough. It's just because there's so many players, man. 5,000 plus players in this tournament. All right, Parker, round us off. You need a player that's outside of the top 125, unless you want to designate Cyrus as that player.
Okay, so I was gonna put Kamal Crooks here, but I think I'm just gonna put Cyrus as my outside of top
Your number 1 overall pick. Your outside top 125 player.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Rowan.
Rowan
Stave now.
now.
Yeah, that's how you spell it.
Is there something here?
Stave.
It's STAVE.
Sorry, bro.
There's a lot of other misspellings here, so if you see your name here, apologies.
Eric doesn't know how to spell.
We'll break out the spell check with Eric. There we go.
Spell check. Listen, I did not win the spelling bee in high school. Okay.
We know, Eric. So
there's someone at my work that hates it that I don't spell their name right still, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'm just terrible at it. I don't mean it. All right. Winning deck Max, you went last, so I'll let you pick your winning deck first.
Man. I don't want to pick first, but
If you get it right, it is 50 bonus points.
listen, I'm like I got Natalie, I got Kywin, I got Henry, I got Michael Davidson. I mean, at this point, you just got to go all in. Just give me Gardevoir. I mean, listen, what has been winning keeps winning. People are scared of it. Oh, my Grimmsnarl, you lose to Grimmsnarl. No. They got the spice. And all the best players are playing Gardevoir. Like, you just can't not pick this deck.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Well, except for y'all, because you cannot pick this deck because I picked it. But that's your problem, not mine. So.
All right, I'm going second. I
Future
really wanna,
box.
I really want to say Eevee box, but I don't think you can win.
Hey, I said the same thing about Roaring Moon.
Yeah, it's true. You did. That's true.
I mean, pretty long shot odds for Roaring Moon to win NAIC, but
That would be
I
quite
have
the
a
Hail
ruling
Mary.
question of your opinion. If I say Dragapult and like Dragapult Goldango or Dragapult Charizard wins, do I win?
it has to be at least a 4-4-2 line of Dragapult for it to count.
4-4-2 line. Okay.
Yeah.
Must
Alright.
play 4 Dreepies.
Actually, I'll allow 4-3-2 line.
Okay, 4-3-2. Okay, that's a fair qualification. All right, give me Dragapult. I'm taking Dragapult.
All right. Well, I guess I can't pick either of those. So, let me see.
You want
I
me some
really-
crayons, Parker? I'll give you some.
I really think. Hey man, what if Joltik Box wins this whole thing?
It could be Toadscruel. Don't forget.
It could be Toadscruel. It
There was
could
8
be.
people in Bologna that played Toad Scroll, and none of them made it too.
Oh, none of them had it like he did. I mean, I think Grimmsnarl's good. I think Grimmsnarl's good. I'm gonna pick
Think it can win?
Grimmsnarl.
You going with that?
I think it could be a winning deck in the hands of a winning player.
Wait, let me fix this. Marnie's Grimmsnarl.
Oh yeah, not to
Correct.
be confused with the single prize one.
Yeah, so that's gonna do it for our fantasy draft. Let us know in the comments what you think and who you would have drafted #1 overall. Excited to see how this plays out. Best of luck to you guys. We'll see where it lands.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Beach Court Podcast. We'll be back same time next week, folks, to get you ready for the North American International Championships down in New Orleans. So until next time, guys, see you then.
See ya.